going that way, baby? I got it. We just put his numbers on the WhatsApp. We're gonna bring him into the fold. We want change. 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 No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No peace. Woo! Woo! Can't hear you. Can't hear you at all. Not even a little bit. I can't breathe.
We got to get on the move. They gonna follow with us or you back outside. And we have to go move with us.
That shit boom.
No peace!
So we had the protest. Looks like they got the protest car ready to go. The vibes have been really good. Been really peaceful. A lot of interrupted speeches. But other than that, the vibe's been pretty peaceful, so I'm definitely happy. So we're here, part 2 of the riot. You see across the way, we have horses back over there. See if we can see them. So yeah, so far they're pretty hands off and it's been pretty calm.
So coming up, you're about to see where the protests really started escalating. As the protesters walked past the police intake, they saw police standing by with the, I guess the riot car is what it was. And then once all the protesters noticed that they were out in the gear, they went ahead and started advancing into the tunnel. And then that's when this happened.
it appears that everybody's splitting in two. We just saw that little, I don't even know that stuff inside the tunnel. Everybody's supposed to keep going now, but as you see, we do have some wanderers over here. So I believe they threw some tear gas down there. I smelled it a little bit earlier. So what happens when they were overloading the little entry over there. Well, looks like everything's okay. Just taking a quick little break. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get back to this protest. It's hot. I would say there probably should be some water stations out here. There were some earlier off in the day, but since we got here, I haven't really seen any water stations. So I'm gonna have a look out on the hydration of the people. They haven't, and see, you got some type of standoff right there. So I believe they just threw some tear gas to disperse everybody. The police now have their gas mask and they're urging everybody to go that way. Let's take a look right over here. The gas is definitely starting to make its way down here. I feel the shit in my throat starting to kind of burn. I know they, in the tunnel right there, they're pushing people out with the tear gas. Ooh. Yeah, it's gonna get more intense. Hey, brother, can you tell us what happened down there?
Raleigh Police Department does not give a fuck about their citizens. They're out here tear gassing us for peacefully protesting. Nobody fuck with them. Amaya!
Watch out below you, bro.
Amaya!
So it looks like there's a couple different layers of defense. The first one, everybody went in that tunnel. You saw what happened there. First thing they did was they had the sirens, so they did the sound, and then after that, people kept advancing, and so they had no choice but to use the tear gas. It's moving its way down here. The protest should keep going that way. They keep going that way. It has to go that way. So we have people kind of straggling. So we got that layer down there. Then we got the riot team over here. I have seen no violence yet.
Meaning that I've seen nobody actually assault the police yet.
Here they are, right here.
Get your dick hard!
Excuse me, though. The protests are starting. I do have this media jacket on, so should be good.
I dare you!
if you're just tuning in on what's happening, they did just come out the gas with gas, and now they are moving forward, pushing back.
Yeah. Protest, y'all started that bullshit. Throw that shit. Fuck them. Throw that shit. Fuck them. Hands up.
They're coming in. They just dispersed some tear gas. Moved down about one street. It's been pretty peaceful so far, but I will say the police have been the aggressors. They have been shooting the tear gas grenades as people are congregating, buddy. Hey, take a look. At this point, the officers are surrounded. They're in riot gear. Nobody touching each other, but tensions are very high right now. There's probably about 2,000 people at the protest, maybe more, but like I said, police have started pushing. They have been the aggressors in this case, shooting tear gas to make everybody disperse. I haven't seen any violence before them. Let's take a look.
They killed him with his hands up. Like a dumbass. I got shot with tear gas. All that Martin Luther King, hands up, shit. Fuck that bullshit.
All right, sir. Come on. So we have people that have been arrested.
Take a knee! Take a knee!
I don't know what necessarily we're doing here. They're surrounded, but I don't know
Take a knee!
if we're moving the protest. Looks like there's some backup coming right now.
Take a knee!
They are in full riot gear to join these brothers, but I would say they are not striking. They're staying there.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up!
So
You look real strong. What are you guys doing? You're surrounded.
Are you scared that you have a gun and tear gas and everything else in your fucking head?
I don't know armor.
And tear gas from the show! You got to go! What the fuck are we supposed to do? The peaceful protest! What the fuck is wrong with me there? Let me find out! What the fuck is wrong with me there? Let me find out! What people got even everything? Why are you in riot gear? I don't see no riot gear! Why are you in riot gear? I don't see no riot gear! Why are you in riot gear?
let's move in. Alright, I gotta back up. Excuse me.
Why are all y'all huddled up together? Trying to kill all of
There was some tear gas that was shot down on that end. Made its way all the way down to that street. And the police started coming back. And surrounded right here. It's still peaceful though. It's still peaceful.
No justice.
No justice!
No peace.
No
name! George Floyd! Say his 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 what the George Floyd! You want George Floyd? George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! George Floyd!
For y'all tuning in, I don't know necessarily what's happening. All I seen was that they're surrounded, but the protest was making its way down the street. But since the police distributed tear gas, I guess the protesters would face them on the street. And so that's what that show of force is down there. They're surrounded. I don't know what the point of that is. But we have the horses coming in right now.
You guys were quiet when they were protesting 3 weeks ago. You fucking pig! Caso.
I'm with the riot and the whole thing, but I'm not fucking with go. Yeah. Move!
They will kick you back the fuck up!
So at this point, I believe they're clearing the way for the police to be able to exit out that way. They were surrounded earlier, but like I said, the horses came in and kind of spread out the street. You can see over here.
That's exactly what the fuck is going on.
It's a difference between tear gas and shot and shit. I'm not getting
Heads up. I'm behind this tree right here. If you're just tuning in, they are slowly starting to expand their square. They were surrounded at one point, pushing back from the protesters. The original protesters broke off and went down the street another way and surrounded the police with the riot gear. At first, they shot some tear gas into the police intake or whatever that is over there, but the people kept coming in, and that made... one second. So that made them over down this way. Made them come up, as you see. They're simply clearing the way. However, I don't know what's going on right here. It looks like he's trying to open up a direct way. Maybe a cut through. I don't know. So we're gonna come back this way. For those asking, yes, this is the police station. This is Raleigh, North Carolina. The police right here are surrounded. They weren't touched though. There was a little push. Well, there was a little pushing and shoving, and some tear gas came out. And then after that, they were able to spread out some space. If you tuned in earlier, you saw how tight it was. I can put up some pictures later how tight it was. But they're opening up the street for the policemen to walk back. So I don't know what's going on over here. Like I said, they are slowly expanding the circle, the square, so they can walk down and clear the path. Earlier they had tear gas to clear the path. So So I don't know what happened to the original protest. I don't know where it went, but ever since the tear gas was thrown, that's when there was some resistance, and that's when all of this started happening. So here you go.
Who are you gonna fucking shoot?
Let's come over here and see what they got going on over there. Just here to take a picture. Just here to take a picture. All right, I am gonna go ahead and go back across the way and get out of the way. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, brother.
Look, he's got a stick right there. Look at his stick. Look at the fucking stick.
All right, moving back.
Yes.
Excuse me. So they are walking down. Excuse me.
Don't shoot!
Watch out! Watch out! You gotta.
Now watch out, horse.
So for those there, I believe they just sprayed some mace. I don't know what happened to the original protest. Everybody was walking the streets until they decided to go into the police precinct. Then tear gas was released. Then the protesters refused to keep going down and continue with the protest. And the riot police came out.
making work. Are you okay? You need a ride? Get in with her. She's gonna pour it on her.
So if you're just tuning in, hold on. Can I go back behind you real quick? I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get on so I can explain what's happening. But I don't know what happened to the original protest. All right. So I backed up a little bit because they had.
Ain't no stopping. Fuck you.
Because they dispersed some tear gas and they were trying to walk their men home. They had gotten surrounded at one point, and people started shoving. They were surrounded, but nothing broke out too much. There was some tear gas. There was some tear gas that was, I guess, administered. I don't know. Stuff's in my eyes and my face a little bit, so it's stinging. So I had to take off my face mask. But they're back down over there. It's probably about 1,500, maybe 2,000 people here. Whew. So I don't know what the rest of the goal of this is. You can see a little bit further down, they have the other people down there. That's where it was supposed to go. People were supposed to march this way, and they're supposed to go up the street that way. Up, and a water ball was thrown. But they were supposed to go up the street that way. They decided to go that way. You see the police right up there, kind of showing everything. I'm okay though. Everything is calmed back down. It was intense for a little bit. Let's see. It was intense for a little bit, but seems like it's calmed down a little bit. I would say the police are in control of this. It's okay. They're walking their way back. As long as there's not too much more aggression, everything should be okay. So I don't know what the original protest plan was. After the protesters went into that little tunnel right there, we were met with some loud sounds that, this is pretty interesting. And then they had some tear gas. Then again, they came right up here, met with some more tear gas. And then essentially once everybody hit that little, intake over there, that's when everybody just stopped right there. So originally everybody was going to go that way and go up the street that way. But since there was tear gas that was dispersed, that agitated people, of course. And they've been, confronting them ever since. However, I can say that the police were receded up into the tunnel pretty good bit. I can show you some images and some video. However, once the protesters realized they were in there, they went ahead and advanced, and then we were met with tear gas. And ever since then, tensions have escalated, but going down a little bit now that the police have kind of taken control of the streets. As far as moving back that way, remember, they didn't have any control over there. They were completely surrounded. So they brought out the horses, they brought out the tear gas and mace, and opened it up. And now they are walking their way back. So, whew. Y'all have any questions about anything? About to go ahead and put my mask back on. I just had to breathe for a little bit because of that damn tear gas gets in the air and gets on everything. But all right, well, looks like some more shit's happened. happening. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Listen up. Come on. Get that in there. Listen up.
So if you're just tuning in again, the police were originally surrounded after there was a confrontation up here. And they ended up taking back the road over here this way. You see how they have police officers out there pretty much to bring things back in. After that original little tear gas thing, I don't know. Everybody decided to confront the police. So I'm just chilling on the side over here. I'm out of the way. If something happens, I just hide behind, that or that. It's all good. So one thing I can say that I've noticed is usually at a lot of protests, there are a lot of counter protesters. Here there are none, so there's no conversation. There's absolutely no conversation that's happening. After the first event, essentially everything has been confrontational. But again, there is no conversation, so I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, same here, bro. The tensions will come down a little bit though, man. It was a lot worse down there when they were surrounded.
At this point, I don't know if it works anymore. It's all right. It's something. You're gonna need to go down there, right?
I don't know, like I was down there when
Hey, I'm behind this little area. I'm okay. I'm protected. If some shit happens, I can hide behind that. Not from the gas though, but from anybody moving crazy.
You can have behind the tool.
You head behind it. Can you tell me what happened to you earlier, brother? Tear gas.
3-4 times.
3 or 4 times. Do you know what's happening with people shoving up there, or is it just they decided to try to move the people back so they shot tear gas to try to
antagonizing the cops?
Yeah. Okay.
The people didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
They started it.
And then it escalated after that once it got started, right down in that tunnel. Again, if you are tuning in, essentially what happened was that caused the escalation of all this, excuse me, is there was a protest going on, and I'll show you the route. The route was coming down, the route was coming down this way, and then it was supposed to keep going that way. Well, when it kept going that way, people went up there and people split that way. And I don't know what happened, but somehow the people came back around and it ended up surrounding the police. And so now the police are working their way back, working their way back safely. They expanded the circle and then they moved it back. So opened the circle and then moved it back. And again, I don't know what we're doing now. So I think they're just trying to push the police back. I don't know. I backed up at 20 feet though. So let's see. You got any questions? No. Oh. I think I'm about to go sit down. I was here earlier getting some shots on medium format film. I've been vlogging a little bit of it, and then I went live earlier, and then they shot some, tear gas, and so I had to get to a safe area. So I don't know what's going on right now. I know everybody's right there. Got the Hoverboard Squad. So yeah, it's intense up there, but back behind it, tensions are a lot less. Again, everything just kind of happened when the tear gas was initiated, and then people got antsy. But what's the end goal? I don't know necessarily the end goal of the protest. I don't know if there was like a route to take, or I don't know if the goal is to push them back. And that's kind of the problem with some of these protests is there's not really a strong leadership. So the people don't really know what to do. There needs to be a strong leadership. See what's going on. If there's strong leadership, then people would know what to do. But people don't know what to do. Everybody's just standing here. They were initially they were marching, but again everything stopped right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start walking around, get a little bit more fresh air, try to get some water, and I'm gonna go back live in a little bit. So peace.
Hey guys, it's Cam with the camera. This is just kind of finishing up the rest of the protest, editing it, as I should say. And I just kind of wanted to review about exactly what happened. So, to review what happened, we had a march that led towards, that started from the county courthouse, and I guess was going to the Capitol, maybe? We passed the Capitol, and then once we got to the police precinct, we were met with gas after a little bit of aggression going into the police intake, and from there everything everything progressed. The police came out with riot gear and they started tear gassing people to move them back. At one point, like you saw in the video, the police were surrounded. Nothing happened to them, but they also shot off some tear gas to clear the way for them. So that's what a lot of people are talking about that got them provoked, was the fact that nobody was assaulting these police officers. They were just surrounded and they were met with tear gas. And then that further escalated everything, and I ended up leaving around sunset. So around sunset there was no riots, there was no vandalism, really, there was no looting going on. On the way leaving, however, I saw people starting to come in. I wish I would have got that on video for y'all, but I was tired. It was 95 degrees out. I was fasting, all this kind of stuff. And I realized people were coming in dressed in all black. Black boots, black gloves, black shirt, black bandana, black pants, black everything. People that actually hadn't been involved in the protests. They were just coming in at the end part during the night where they can come underneath the cover of the night. So that makes me believe that maybe somebody was put there. Something's going on. Something's going on that we don't know about. And then once nighttime fell, the city went up in flames. When all the protesters were home. So just some food for thought. Not all the protesters were trying to be violent. A lot of them were there peacefully. They had, signs. People were so nice to each other within the protest. I mean, people handing out water bottles, helping people that got tear gas, all that kind of stuff. So I was proud of the community for what happened. But then after we left, everything just went to shit. So I hope this was an eye-opening experience. If you have any questions, hit me up, and make sure to like, comment, and share this video. Peace.